Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Stephanie, Vintage Freak 32, and I got a couple fun, quick and easy little crafts for you. So this first one, I found this chalkboard at a repurposed or a secondhand craft thrift store, and it's a slate chalkboard, but we're gonna jazz it up, and we're gonna use this folk art in the mossy meadow, and we're gonna paint the whole thing. I started to paint and then I realized I need to tape off the edges, so I paused and did that real quick. And then we are going to give this raw wood around this slate chalkboard 2 coats and let it dry completely before we go through and distress it. So this is an acrylic paint. It's not a chalk paint. So for quick little things like this, I don't always bust out the chalk paint. So I'm just pulling off all the tape, and my paint is still a little bit wet, but acrylic paint dries pretty fast, and then if you put a fan on it, I mean, it's like 60 seconds and it's done. So I have this die cut, this fussy cut, and these are vintage. They're from the 90s. They're reproduction of Victorian and vintage Valentines, but I thought this was, and I'll try and link the company that made these in the 90s, but I have pages and pages of these reproduction prints, but they're printed in the 90s, so they're vintage now, which is kind of wild to say. Things from the 90s are vintage. So I fussy cut this out. I just thought this was the perfect little image with the green mailbox, and it's like this little girl is dropping off her letter to Santa in the mail. So that's my plan for one side. And while I distress the wooden frame around this slate chalkboard, my plan is to Mod Podge her onto one side of the slate board and then leave the other side of the slate board blank. So you have a two-sided choice of decor. One side showing our cute little girl dropping her Santa's letter in the mailbox. And then the other side you can use as a chalkboard if you want to write 25 on it, have a countdown, let your kids draw on it, what have you. The only thing I wish I had was some actual chalk, and I didn't have any chalk, and even my daughter usually has chalk, and we're out of chalk. So anyways, now that I've distressed this, I'm going to go in with my favorite folk art aging wax or antiquing wax, and we are going to go over all of the frame with this antiquing wax. I used a couple rolls of the my painter's tape to rise this up and make it easier for me to distress it and just paint it, etc. So the aging wax is fantastic because it's going to get in all of the exposed wood parts, and then the printing that's in there that's been branded onto the wood, it's getting in there so you can see the typography on there, or the stress. I'm trying to remember. It says, I'm looking at it right now. It says something crayon made in USA, made in Portuguese, is what that says down there, just in case you were wondering. So it's still vintage. It's an older little slate chalkboard. And I have this little lattice, which I thought would look cute to kind of mimic a picket fence. I think I got these on Temu a long time ago, and I used my distressing ink around the edge. So it kind of, aged it up, because we don't want to put new paper on something we're trying to make look old. We need the paper to look old too. So for me, at least, it's important to distress your paper as well, so that you don't have this stark white paper. That's why, even though the little girl is, got some muted dark colors around her, the paper she's printed on is stark white. And so I went around the edging of the paper so that to take away that bright, stark whiteness edging and just give the age look to her. So I'm Mod Podging the whole thing onto the slate board. I will say I got a little heavy-handed with the Mod Podge here, and you'll see me take a paper towel and dab a lot of this excess Mod Podge off. Sometimes with my squeeze bottle, it just comes out and I don't think about it. So here I am dabbing that back off, and it worked out great. And your Mod Podge, this is the matte I'm using the matte finish, so when it's dry, you can't see the residue. And there it is. It's almost practically dry anyway, so you can see there's nothing left. So this is a vintage piece of chenille. I think it came off of a busted ornament at some point. And so you're going to watch me struggle to get this into a bow, because for whatever reason, my brain was not functioning. And I was like, how do I turn this into a bow? And so I struggled for a hot minute on this, but we got it together, and I thought I was going to put it at the top, and then I was like, no, it's going to look like a little cute little garland bow. You know, they decorated their mailbox for Christmas, and they've put this little chenille bow on their mailbox. So I hot glued that in place, and she is all done. I think this came out so cute. I absolutely love it. I would put this in my own decor. And then you have the other side that is free to use and actually write on with some chalk. So fun little piece to put in your display. Okay, so for this next project, I have had these spools in my Etsy store for a while, and they've not sold. So we are gonna zhuzh them up for Christmas. And this is super, super simple. I went to Hobby Lobby, and all their Christmas is 50% off. So I stocked up on a lot of bottle trees and little Christmas decor knickknacks, to make a bunch of different vignettes, etc. So these are super easy to remove the bases. You just twist them off. That wire is twisted in there, so you just twist opposite direction, and we are going to stick some bottle brush trees on these, and it is literally as simple as that. And I apologize that I've still got folk art mossy meadow paint all over my hands. I was trying to just get these projects done before I had to go pick up my daughter from school, so I was just running through the crafting, and here we are. So I'm just hot gluing these right on top. And for the last one, which by the way, I did distress these. I painted them with the same folk art mossy meadow, and then the white one is just white acrylic paint, and I distressed them all, and then did antiquing wax, the folk art antiquing wax over all of them. And then I had added these like clear sticker floral appliques. I left the floral appliques, and the other one has lace on it because they feel like they're very neutral. So for the neutral little like pops of Christmas decor, these are great to put in if you have a letterpress tray. They're small enough like that. If you have a little space on your vignette shelf for Christmas, these just fill in really nicely. And so now they've got a Christmas makeover flair, and these are so simple to do. You can get these wooden spools at the craft store as well. But that is it for today. I have lots more Christmas coming up, guys, so be sure to stay tuned. Give me a like, a follow, subscribe, and I will see you guys on the next one. Bye!